Hi, I'm Jim Clark, Visual Arts Manager at Hopkins Center for the Arts. It's install day for ArtStreet 2022-23. We're here with the first installing artist, Dave Riemer. Dave, your sculpture is named Kaleidoscope. Can you tell us about the inspiration for the piece?
Oh, that's a hard one because my inspirations come in little pieces and
Sure.
then they get built on
Yeah.
over time. The original design that I made of this kaleidoscope was not colored the way it was. It wasn't until later that watching it move in the wind, I knew that by painting it, all the little triangles, different colors, just what it would do in the wind. And it's one of my few pieces where the name actually fits the sculpture very well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How did that occur?
Just because it looks like a kaleidoscope, it named itself. I usually let my wife name these things because I'm terrible at it, you know. I was gonna say if something's round, I'll call it sphere or something like that, but come up with
Descriptive. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And this piece has a kinetic element to it. It moves from the wind?
Yes, it's all wind driven. There's an outer part that is driven by these fins, and it's the larger part, and then inside that is a second dodecahedron that turns in the opposite direction. That's a little bit heavier, takes a little more wind, so usually the outside is turning. In wind like this, you won't even feel it, the outside should turn. Inside takes a little more breeze, but it moves quite a bit.
How did you arrive at this design? Was it trial and error, or did it come to you just immediately?
The dodecahedron is the main element. It would be probably hard to remember exactly why I came up with that. I remember looking at it online and thinking that most of my sculptures, the copper is shaped with a hammer.
Okay.
This, I was looking at that I could actually fold the copper for these pieces and it wouldn't require any hammering. And then when I put it together that way, it turned out to be very stable, very solid piece. So.
I know some artists use computer-assisted drafting, and they use the computer to help design. Do you use the computer, or is this?
Not for design purposes.
Okay.
I do use it quite a bit, but yeah, I know what you're talking about, to actually design the piece on the screen. That happens more in the studio for the first time.
Yeah. And then is it hand cut or laser cut or?
Oh,
CNC.
with the scissors.
With this, yeah.
I did, the very first one I made, I figured I wanted every piece to be exactly the same, so I did take it to a laser cutter.
Sure.
That cut out, I think there's 20 of these triangles that I fold.
Yeah.
But I was able to do it just as well with the scissors.
Awesome. And you're from Wisconsin, correct? What town?
Northeast Wisconsin, Wissahickee is a small town about an hour north of Green Bay, pretty much out in the woods.
Sure. How long have you been a public sculptor?
About 20 years now is how long I've started this. I've always done art. Pastels was a favorite a long time ago, some painting, photography, but the sculpting is the first time I've been able to be a professional artist where it actually paid the bills.
Sure. And this is the first time in Hopkins ArtStreet, correct? Yeah. And how far have you shown your work?
Last February, we put one in North Carolina in Farmville, right outside their new library. That would be the farthest, I think. Although we have shipped them to California and Florida, so.
Awesome.
But as far as shows like this, the one in North Carolina, I'm in 5 shows in, I think, 3 in Minnesota, 1 in Wisconsin, and 1 in Michigan this year.
I don't know.
I think Minnesota is probably going to be an annual thing now. It's only 5 hours away instead of 3 days.
For sure. Excellent. Well, Dave, thanks so much for sharing your work with our community.
No, I'm really glad to do this. I'm so happy that towns do this because I could be up in our lake in the woods and making these all day and fill up our yard, but unless they get out to where people can actually see them, they don't have much purpose, you know. So I really appreciate being able to put them out on the street for a whole year and let people enjoy them.
We do too. Thank you.